This year's Illinois FFA theme is Envision.
We believe that it is important to envision yourself achieving your goals.
Envision everlasting memories and friendships.
Envision your best self.
And envision the future of agriculture.
When I envision agriculture, I see FFA,
diversity,
Family.
I think of food.
I see everlasting opportunities.
When I envision FFA leaders, they are passionate,
Selfless,
thankful,
authentic, driven.
When I envision the future of Illinois FFA, I see more advisors.
100% chapter participation in the Foundation Local Collection Drive.
Record-breaking membership.
New CDEs.
More SAE net earning.
All of these answers are correct due to our different experiences and backgrounds.
These differing backgrounds and experiences create our perspectives in everything in life. On chapter visits, my teammates and I were able to witness this firsthand.
Last fall, we traveled 17,255 miles, visited 320 schools, and met with over 7,715 students to recognize and advocate for the different perspectives within agriculture.
During these chapter visits, we used paper airplanes to express our different perspectives when it comes to FFA, agriculture, and our favorite restaurants.
It's important that we recognize and accept all of these perspectives, because when we recognize that we're different, we can become better leaders, individuals, community members, and advocates of the agriculture industry.
Agriculture is everywhere.
Agriculture is business.
Agriculture is animal science.
Agriculture is growing leaders.
Agriculture is farming.
Agriculture is advocacy.
Agriculture is vet science.
Agriculture is education.
Agriculture is crop science.
Agriculture is advancing technology.
Agriculture is food science.
Agriculture is everywhere! Envision agriculture education in every classroom.
Envision agriculture feeding the whole world.
Envision record-breaking membership.
Envision your future in the agriculture industry.
Envision the endless possibilities and opportunities in agriculture.
Envision your future in Illinois FFA.
We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this.
By thy rivers gently flowing, Illinois, Illinois, o'er thy prairies verdant growing, Illinois, Illinois, comes an echo on the breeze, rustling through the leafy trees. Illinois, Illinois, comes an echo on the breeze, rustling through the leafy trees. mellow tones are these. Illinois, Illinois, and its mellow tones are these. Illinois, Illinois, Grant and Logan and Ortiz. Illinois.
Illinois FFA members, advisors, friends, and family, it is time to meet your 2019-2020 State Officer Team. Your Section 1 President from the Lena Winslow FFA Chapter, Samantha Kemple. Your Section 2 President from the Amboy FFA Chapter, Margaret Vossen. Your Section 3 President from the Anawan FFA Chapter, Joshua Sims. Your Section 4 President from the Rockridge FFA Chapter, Eliza Lilliman. Your Section 5 President from the Midland FFA Chapter, Bradley Weber. Your Section 6 President from the Sycamore FFA Chapter, Allie Drake. Your Section 7 President from the Salmonock Leland Sandwich FFA Chapter, Avery Plody. Your Section 8 President from the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences FFA Chapter, Liliana Romero. Your Section 9 President from the Olympia FFA Chapter, Molly Shemp. Your Section 10 President from the Tri-Point FFA Chapter, Rodney Billerbeck. Your Section 11 President from the Bushnell Prairie City FFA Chapter, Tessa Sargent. Your Section 12 President from the Havana FFA Chapter, Sophia Reevely. Your Section 13 President from the Pittsfield FFA Chapter, Lauren Sachs. Your Section 14 President from the New Berlin FFA Chapter, Emily Curry. Your Section 15 President from the Southwestern FFA Chapter, Madeline Thornsberry. Section 16 President from the Sullivan FFA Chapter, Zane Gardner. Your Section 17 President from the Tuscola FFA Chapter, Morgan Jones. Your Section 18 President from the Georgetown Ridge Farm FFA Chapter, Andrew Davis. Your Section 19 President from the Pana FFA Chapter, Chase Timmon. Your Section 20 President from the Altamont FFA Chapter, Emma Coons. Your Section 21 President from the Mount Vernon FFA Chapter, Katie Huff. Your Section 22 President from the Valmeyer FFA Chapter, Lexi Miller. Your Section 23 president from the Mount Carmel FFA chapter, Coy Corral. Your Section 24 president from the Marion FFA chapter, Taylor Dirksen. And your Section 25 president from the Vienna FFA chapter, Jordy Oliver. And now your 2019-2020 major state officers. From Section 7 in the Serena FFA chapter, your state treasurer, Emma Freebaron. From Section 12 in the Midwest Central FFA chapter, your state secretary, Colin E. White. From Section 14 in the Athens FFA chapter, your state reporter, Brody McCormick. From Section 23 in the Fairfield FFA chapter, your state vice president, Lane Harvey. From Section 3 and the Cambridge FFA chapter, your state president, Gage Miller. And from Cambridge, a former leatherneck at Western Illinois University, Gage Miller's FFA advisor, Mr. Trent Tabor.
Strong as that, and I'll be posted word as strong as that. Brothers by my side, city on my back, real heroes. That's what the people want. They ain't born, gotta create them. Saying we gone soon as we save them. That's part of the plan. By my side, I'ma keep my brothers. Live or die, man, we need each other.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the 5th and final session of the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
For the final time, station by the door.
Your duty's there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
For the final time, the reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
For the final time, stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duty's there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
For the final time, stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duty's there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of both knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom may accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, for the final time, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
We are proud to broadcast this convention to a record-breaking 20,761 members, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA membership possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. For session 5, I'm going to kick it over to our rodeo king and the driver of this session, Mr. Brody McCormick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final session of the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm not wearing official dress, one of my favorite things to do is to go to the rodeos. I enjoy going to the big dirt arena where there's loud music, lights, and contestants competing. And while I do enjoy going to the rodeos, I actually enjoy competing in them a lot more. I've been competing in a rodeo since I was in kindergarten. And come to think of it, this session tonight has a lot in common with a rodeo. We get to see contestants competing in different events to try and win that state champion title. We get to hear from one of our association's retiring officers, and we get to enjoy and celebrate a long rodeo season with a year in review wrap-up ceremony. In tonight's session, we will award our top career development events and leadership development event teams and individuals. We will get to hear our state president, Gage Miller, deliver his retiring address, and we will get to wrap up this virtual convention with a successful 8-second ride. So get your belt buckles, boots, spurs, and ropes ready because it's time to envision the future and get ready for this rodeo of a session to begin. I mentioned it earlier, but this session has a lot in common with a rodeo. In one way particular, we have contestants competing in different events to try and win that state champion title. All season long, they have been practicing long hours and putting in that work. In the practice pen, my dad always told me, perfect practice makes perfect. These next individuals and teams have proven that perfect practice does in fact make perfect, and they have proven that they are dedicated, driven, and determined to win. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our 2019-2020 Career Development Event state-winning teams and individuals.
Your state winner in the Agricultural Business Management Career Development Event is the Olney FFA chapter. The top individual is Lance Mitchell from the Olney FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Agricultural Communications Career Development Event is the Midland FFA chapter. The top individual in journalistic writing is Kyle Endress from the Midland FFA chapter. The top individual in opinion writing is Leah Piles from the Midland FFA chapter. The top individual in video production is Riker Ewing from the Midland FFA chapter. The top individual in web design is Samantha Johns from the Pontiac FFA chapter. Your state winner in Agricultural Education Career Development Event is Madeline Hubble from the Normal FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Agricultural Sales Career Development Event is the Prairie Central FFA chapter. The top individual in Room 1 is Kenneth Skaggs from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. The top individual in room 2 is Patrick McGreal from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. The top individual in room 3 is Ainsley Craterville from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. The top individual in room 4 is Evan Slagle from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Agronomy Career Development event is the Olney FFA chapter. The top individual is Lance Mitchell from the Olney FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Dairy Cattle Evaluation and Management Non-Reasons Division Career Development event is the Carlisle FFA chapter. Your top individual is Nathan Linker from the Oakville FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Middle School Dairy Cattle Evaluation and Management Non-Reasons Division Career Development event is the Carlisle FFA chapter. Your top individual is Lewis Baker from the Carlisle FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Dairy Foods Career Development event is the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your top individual is Laura Schaefer from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Middle School Dairy Foods Career Development event is the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your top individual is Ellie Drock from the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Food Science and Technology Career Development event is the Prairie Central FFA chapter. Your top individual is Celeste Cummings from the Iroquois West FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Forestry Career Development event is the Olney FFA chapter. Your top individual is Victoria Zwilling from the Olney FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Middle School Forestry Career Development event is the Liberty FFA chapter. Your top individual is Connor Blunier from the Midland FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Horse Evaluation Reasons Division Career Development event is the Rochelle FFA chapter. Your top individual is Katie Huff from the Mount Vernon FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Horse Evaluations Non-Reasons Division Career Development event is the Pinckneyville FFA chapter. Your top individual is Savannah Stamen from the Brimfield FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Middle School Horse Evaluation Non-Reasons Division Career Development event is the West Prairie FFA chapter. Your top individual is Connor Blunier from the Midland FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Horticulture Career Development event is the Glenbrook South FFA chapter. Your top individual is Laura Shonkin from the Glenbrook South FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Land Use Career Development event is the Cambridge FFA chapter. Your top individual is Alec Thompson from the United FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Middle School Land Use Career Development event is the Liberty FFA chapter. Your top individual is Jacob Davis from the Liberty FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Livestock Evaluation Reasons Division Career Development event is the Taylorville FFA chapter. Your top individual is Eric Schaefer from the Taylorville FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Livestock Evaluation Non-Reasons Division Career Development event is the United FFA chapter. Your top individual is Trace Titus from the United FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Meats Evaluation and Technology Career Development event is the Iroquois West FFA chapter. Your top individual is Cyrus Cook from the Iroquois West FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Poultry Evaluation Career Development event is the Midland FFA chapter. Your top individual is Brad Weber from the Midland FFA chapter. Your state-winning team in the Veterinary Science Career Development event is the Naperville Central FFA chapter. Your top individual is Elizabeth Liu from the Naperville Central FFA chapter.
One of my favorite events that I participated in while rodeoing would have to be team roping. I would practice night after night by roping the dummy, just like this one, and mastering the team roping basics. I would get in position, swing my rope, deliver, pull my slack, and follow through, and mastered the basics over time. These next teams and individuals have practiced long hours and mastered the basics and proven that they are worthy to wear the Grand Champion Gold Buckle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our 2019-2020 Leadership Development State-winning teams and individuals.
The state winner in the Creed Speaking Leadership Development event is Morgan Mauser from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter. The state winner in the Extemporaneous Public Speaking Leadership Development event is Eric Schaefer from the Taylorville FFA chapter. The state winner in the Job Interview Leadership Development event is Bradley Schaefer from the Cambridge FFA chapter. The state winner in the Prepared Public Speaking Leadership Development event is Olivia Scheich from the Unity Tolono FFA chapter.
There are a couple of things that are standard at every rodeo you go to. Number one, there is always food. So if you go home hungry, that's on you. And number two, the health and safety of our livestock is our number one priority. We are doing everything that we can to make sure that our animals are treated humanely and fairly. We are always looking for ways to improve and make sure that the sport of rodeo is there to be enjoyed by generation after generation. Speaking of finding out ways to improve, making sure that the things that they enjoy and are passionate about are here for generation after generation, our Agri-Science Fair winners are just the same. Whether they're finding out what soil type grows the best crops or how the pH levels in feed affect the rumen size in cattle, our participants are making sure that agriculture is always improving. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our 2019-2020 Agri-Science Fair winners.
Division II Animal Systems, Mason Fry and Carter Hitz from Southeastern FFA. Division II Environmental Science and Natural Resources Systems, Owen Brigg and Jarrett Van Beck from Southeastern FFA. Division II Plant Systems, Brylan Lance and Abigail Schaefer from Southeastern FFA. Division II Power, Structural, and Technical Systems, Zoe Griswold and Kendra Lilly from Southeastern FFA. Division III Animal Systems, Lizzie Schaefer from Taylorville FFA. Division III Environmental Sciences and Natural Resource Systems, Sarah McGee from Fairfield FFA. Division III Food Products and Processing Systems, Jordan Balder from Paxton Buckley Loda FFA. Division III Plant Systems, Summer Ramsey from Southeastern FFA. Division III Power, Structural, and Technical Systems, Elon Bader from Litchfield FFA. Division III Social Systems, Riley McGrath from Naperville Central FFA. Division IV Environmental Science and Natural Resource Systems, Elijah Leisman and Cooper Lee from Southeastern FFA. Division IV Plant Systems, Riley Beckel and Bailey Hilliard from Sisney FFA. Division IV Social Systems, Cole Pollock and Lacey DeClerc from Taylorville FFA. Division V Animal Systems, Jaden Henry from Southeastern FFA. Division V Food Products and Processing Systems, Melanie Jordan from Sisney FFA. Division V Plant Systems, Jesse Lewis from Massac County FFA. Division V Social Systems, Mackenzie Ratliff from Orion FFA. Division VI Plant Systems, Colin Colvin and Matthew Grab from Freeburg FFA. Division VI Social Systems, Gracie Corso and Trenton Lehman from Taylorville FFA.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Cole Piggott, and it is an honor to be here today to introduce our best friend and State FFA President, Gage Miller. Throughout the last 10 years, the memories that myself and our friends have made with Gage are simply indescribable. We planned this introduction to highlight the things that you may not know about Gage, the behind-the-scenes insight on what has made him into the man he is today. For starters, apparently Illinois FFA does not pay very close attention to driving records. It is no secret that Gage is quite possibly the worst driver out of all of our friends. I truly believe that the only thing stronger than Gage and I's friendship is the front bumper of his Chevy Cheyenne. My experience of being Gage's friend has gone in many different directions, but one thing's for sure is we've always managed to have a good time. And I couldn't be more proud to call the State FFA President, Gage Miller, my best friend.
Throughout high school, we always knew that Gage was going to be successful, but there were always some moments that we had our doubts. But Illinois FFA, I know that you heard some amazing speeches from Mr. President himself, but let me tell you, I have heard some pretty bad ones firsthand. Whether it was the first time running for Section 3 office or his numerous football game pump-up speeches that sometimes involved wildlife, you never knew what was going to come out of that kid's mouth. It truly amazes us how someone can go from backwoods coon hunting in full head-to-toe camo to an FFA event in official dress without skipping a beat. Nevertheless, we can all stand up here today and admit that Gage's spontaneous attitude has kept our friend group together.
From the times Gage and I spent in FFA, I always knew that he was going to do big things. To this day, I can remember zipping up the blue corduroy jacket for the first time at our first FFA event, 212 conference. I can distinctly remember being there for the first time during one of his most monumental experiences. Let's just say, the Illinois FFA, that you didn't find this kid on the dance floor. He was indeed hiding under a banquet table. I think I can speak for all of us up here that we are thankful that Gage has successfully made it out of puberty. As we grew up in the blue jacket, I was lucky enough to serve as Gage's chapter and section vice president. The impact Gage has had on our FFA career is mirrored in his ability to motivate you, the over 20,000 FFA members in the state of Illinois. Now, to close out our introduction, we would like to welcome to the screen the final member of our friend group, Tanner Kazire.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Airman Tanner Kazire, United States Navy. Throughout the past year of going through boot camp, A school, C school, and now becoming a part of the fleet, I've been somewhat distant from Gage's experiences of becoming a state officer. But if there's one thing that I have learned, winning an argument against Gage Miller is much more difficult than completing boot camp in the Navy. Last year, at this time, I served as Gage's runner at the beginning of his journey to becoming a state officer. Since then, I've watched Gage serve Illinois FFA with dedication and perseverance. It is amazing to see the person that me and my friends shared so many memories with turn into somebody who still can't seem to figure out a decent haircut. But in all honesty, Gage, we are so proud of you and the person that you've become. It is amazing to see the impact that you have had on FFA members throughout the state. And now, it is my privilege to introduce you giving his retiring address titled Destination Unknown, your 2019-2020 State President, Gage Miller.
Sick and tired of running circles for miles and miles, being lost and never really been my style. Thought I told you I was looking for a sign.
Life's a journey, not a known destination. And for many of us, we can remember when that journey really began. I was 5 years old when my dad asked me if I wanted to go hunting with him for the very first time. You all knew a hunting story was coming, so why not start with the very first? Knowing absolutely nothing about hunting, I said, yeah, let's do it. He said, all right, I'll wake you up at 4:30. My face showed deep concern of being up that early. He laughed and said, 4:30 it is. When the early morning arrived, I was not having it. 6 different times it took him to get me up, and finally on his last try, I got out of bed. Now, this being my first experience hunting, I didn't really have the proper hunting attire. I ended up wearing a camo coat, some brown Carhartt bibs, and my legendary Swamp Buddy Shrek snow boots. We got out of the stand and walked for what seemed like miles. Up ahead, I saw a fog and a flooded swamp. My dad ended up carrying me through the swamp and up the stand that morning because I was gassed. We get settled in and it's literally pitch black. I feel like I was staring at my eyelids. I waited and waited and waited. No deer and no sunlight. I figured the deer were probably sleeping and it'd be appropriate if I did the same. And then I remember waking up to an elbow. Do you see him? Nowhere. Right there, I have to take the shot. Okay, but where? Boom, the smoke of the Thompson Center muzzleloader cleared, and I remember my dad smiling ear to ear because he knew our hunt was successful. We climbed down from the stand and found our deer fairly quickly, and then took this iconic picture that will forever be my favorite hunting memory. Check out those snow boots. Don't I look fierce? As the years went on, the hunting adventures continued with my best friend.
October 1st, Henry County, Illinois. Watch this big buck come in here almost every night. The cameras. Me and Gage are here tonight. Gonna try to take him first day. See what happens. Rained all day. Cameraman Gage.
2013 spring turkey on her way Monday morning. Got a little rain last night. It's about mid 40s here. A little chilly, but not much wind. Go get us bag us a couple gobblers this morning, I think. What do you think, Gage?
Yep.
Okay, I'm turning the camera on you now.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get it.
These outdoor experiences have shaped me into the young man I am today. That one morning of hunting with my dad sparked my favorite passion that signifies who I am. Hunting has taught me patience, why we should value the opportunities we are given in life, how to overcome obstacles that just don't make sense, and the unpredictability of our pursuits. I'm sure you can relate to that one place you're most passionate about that makes you unique. Your favorite place where you can go to feel free and put all of life's challenges on pause. Our lives are constantly on the move, and we are driven to fill every hour of our day with activity. FFA members, ask yourself, what special place am I most passionate about that allows me to escape the constant rush in our society? Your place for direction. Is it on a basketball court? On the top of a ski slope? On the dock of a lake? In the middle of a cattle pasture? Binge watching Netflix on your couch? Sitting in your agriculture classroom? Or in my case, a hike through the timber? How would your day be different if it wasn't always go, 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 and you took the time to reflect? Now, when I wasn't out and about serving Illinois FFA this year, you could probably bet on what I was doing. As soon as I got home, I was either jumping in a tree stand or going on a hike to simply reflect on the amazing week I just experienced. Whether it was chapter visits, Builder 212 conference, industry tours, or just a normal week in the office, I felt like there was always a way to get a better understanding of my experiences by thinking about everything one more time. Whether it was the diverse, unique, and amazing students I met, the unbreakable bond my teammates and I were forming as the year went on, what I've been doing right, and the things that I could be improving on as a state officer. Now, you may be out there like, Gage, this just seems like a lot of overthinking, which in some people's cases it may be, but for me, my passion for the outdoors gave me direction. When I went to my place of escape, I felt like everything just made more sense. I valued the outdoors so much because it was a place that I trusted, a place that was always peaceful, a place I could go when I needed guidance. My love and passion for God's greatest creation is strong, and some of my life's most valuable moments have happened in the place that I escaped to. I visited my place when I knew what I wanted to do, but didn't know how I could get there. Throughout this year as state president, I was often stuck in a place of insecurity. I learned so much growing in my years in the FFA, modeling some of our organization's best leaders. But on a daily basis, I questioned if I had the defining qualities of those who came before me. Was I as good of a leader as Cade Hill? Was I as professional as J.C. Campbell? Did I have the energy and enthusiasm of Mr. Joy Beertier? And we can't forget the sincerity of Miss Sophia Horton. What I came to realize is that our role models are not put in our lives to be compared to, but to motivate us. I am the person I am today because of my own direction they gave me. After an escape on one specific day this past year, I realized that I am in control of my own journey. My passion for the outdoors brought me this reassurance. Let me tell you about how my place changed my direction. This spring, after a long week of officer duties, I found myself in a 6-mile hike looking for white-tailed deer shed antlers. It had been a slow day, not finding many sheds, so I decided to take a break and sit on the edge of a small creek. I began staring at the water, thinking about everything. When will we have state convention? When am I going back to the FFA Center? Am I fulfilling my duties as state president? Am I ever going to finish my retiring address? All of these different thoughts and emotions started rolling through my head. I began staring harder at the water. And then I found something far more valuable to me than a shed antler that day. A very smooth rock caught my attention. Now I swear this was the first thing I'd picked out of this entire creek. Call it luck, or maybe faith if you want it, but I had found a Native American spearhead. One of my top bucket list items I had always wanted to find. It was so cool. Think about the history this thing has been through. Did it kill a deer? Did it miss? Was this made by a Native American trying to prove his worth? The journey this spearhead had been on was probably so amazing. I'll never get to know its full story, but through its journey, it somehow ended up in my hands. It was on this day, sitting in my place of escape, that I found the symbolic representation of being pointed in the right direction. I was so fascinated by the craftsmanship on this Native American tool that I wanted to know more. I started doing research on Native Americans and their nomadic culture. Let's travel back through the ages to a time when this spearhead was put to use.
A nomad is someone who lives by traveling from place to place. Native Americans lived a nomadic lifestyle because the most important piece of their survival was following the animals they hunted for food. These animals were their livelihood. Just like you and I, their achievements and destination were not mapped out. They lived through a journey that was simply undefined. Undefined means without fixed limits, indefinite in form or extent. Native Americans didn't know where they were going, but don't let that fool you. You see, they weren't lost either. While they didn't know when or how they were going to achieve the goals they set for themselves, they used their passion of providing for their tribes as their map to success.
After a deeper understanding of Native Americans and their nomadic culture, it's obvious why they thrived for thousands of years. They walked an undefined route, fueled only by their passion. In my opinion, the Native Americans were some of the first people to show us we can always accomplish our goals. Our passion is our compass to success. I share this spearhead story with you because it gave me direction while in my place of escape on my undefined journey. It made me realize it was okay not to know what was ahead all the time. While we should not fear the unknown, we must identify the undefined.
Doesn't that sound like something you may be familiar with? Something we all can relate to. You set a target in your life that you want to accomplish. What lies between your start and end destination is so unpredictable. Obstacles can form, and plans aren't exactly what you want them to be. But with perseverance and the right mindset, you keep working hard through every twist and turn of life's maze, using your passion as your compass to your end destination. And although we set these goals in the beginning of where we want to be in life, our final destination is not known until the end of what I call your undefined journey.
Now this is the point of the speech where I really want to get real with you. As state president, you're often looked at as a person who completely has their life together. But I want to let you in on a little secret. Throughout my life, I've often found myself lost on my own undefined journey, without a focused direction. I felt like my year as a state officer was a map that was passed down from president to president, legacies that I had to follow, and expectations that I had to meet. But what I now realize is that each state officer had an undefined journey they could only discover on their own. I think we all can relate to when we had a similar undefined journey this year, a time where we felt confused and scared with no direction. This past spring, we were faced with something we had never seen before, a virus that changed all of our lifestyles, COVID-19. I could not believe I was being sent home from the FFA Center for months during state convention planning. When I arrived at my home, I was extremely confused on the direction our organization and entire world was headed. It wasn't until my overabundance of time during quarantine that I found more direction after watching one of my new favorite documentaries. While Tiger King did come in a close second, I found a lot of insight from the ESPN film, The Last Dance. This documentary is based around the success of the 91-93 and 96-98 Chicago Bulls basketball team. First of all, I knew Michael Jordan was good, but after watching all 10 episodes, it's hard to believe that man is even human. Besides the point that he is the greatest basketball player of all time, what really opened my eyes was the journey Jordan had taken to reach such a high status in the NBA. From being cut from the basketball team his sophomore year of high school and considering giving up sports at an early age, to winning 6 championships and having his number retired, he went through it all to create greatness. But throughout the documentary's timeline, my by far favorite scene was an individual interview with Jordan on his response to what he was always working towards. He stated he wanted to follow the footsteps of those before him. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas were all amazing basketball players that he wanted to be just alike. But what he came to realize is it wasn't about being like them. He told the interviewer he saw great success after pushing aside the expectations set by those before him. You see, there were times where even Michael Jordan had no direction on where he and his teammates were going. But he used his passion for the game of basketball and those before him as his map to success. Undefined journeys are everywhere. How you handle the journey is entirely up to you. And I think MJ is a prime example of why we should not fear the unknown. What makes Michael Jordan's story even more unique? His coach, Phil Jackson, led the Chicago Bulls using Native American principles of leadership. Michael Jordan was reminded on a daily basis that in order to succeed, you must stay focused, play as one team, and persevere. The Chicago Bulls' journey, much like yours and mine, was undefined, but it was only their best qualities of leadership that were going to allow them to succeed. While Michael Jordan's success could be accumulated in a hand full of championship rings, our success could look much different. As FFA members, our targets might be set on winning CDEs, making new friends at a conference, or reaching record-breaking membership. Specifically, our goals this past year were met with roadblocks and barriers throughout our undefined journey. Seniors weren't getting the senior year they deserved. People were losing their jobs, chapter banquets, other state conventions. Literally everything was getting canceled, and innocent lives were being lost. Our world had no direction. We know what we wanted, to get through this in the safest way possible. But how? It was in our hands to navigate and embrace this undefined journey we were all a part of. During the quarantine, I experienced the most rewarding amount of success and the most direction I had had in months in one single morning. As I stated before, I must credit my dad for sparking my passion for the outdoors 15 years ago. So this past spring, I made it my mission to get him a turkey after all those years of letting me take the first shot. I'd done the math, and he actually hadn't harvested a longbeard since my very first in 2012. With him being busy in the fields planting, I knew I had a small window to end the 8-year drought. We approached our final morning, and the pressure was on. As we got to the blind, I knew we were in for a good morning. Everything was perfect. And then, as soon as there was enough light to shoot, a turkey broke from the hardwoods behind us. I called a few more times and began recording while he got his gun ready, and then the rest was history. The 8-year drought was over, and I had just experienced one of the most rewarding hunts of my life. It's crazy where our life's journeys can take us. It seemed like yesterday when I was taking a shot on my first turkey, and now I was the one calling them in for him. Truthfully, this hunt would have never happened if it wasn't for our stay-at-home order. Now, there is no doubt in my mind I would have enjoyed wherever I would have been on my FFA journey that day. But I trusted my undefined journey. And I knew being in the blind with my dad that morning was where I was meant to be. We actually recreated this picture. My passion gave me this direction that led to an unforgettable hunt. Now, after my long break, I'm back in the blue jacket, doing what I love with more direction than ever.
This year, we learned how our journeys can simply be turned upside down. Never did I think I would be giving my retiring address through a screen, but that was the route chosen for me. And that, my friends, is what makes this RA and the RAs of my fellow state officers unique. We recognize that we are making state convention history and how this will impact the future. Our journey here today was truly undefined, but we made it happen because of our passion for this organization. FFA members, ask yourself, how am I escaping my daily routine to find direction? As we leave this virtual session today and go separate ways on our own undefined journeys, think about what you can accomplish by not worrying about every little step to your end destination. If we all just take the time to step back and visit our place of escape. We will move forward with more direction than ever. For me, it's the place that's always quiet, holds childhood memories, and gives me passion. The passion I have to wake up early and go hunt. The passion Native Americans had to provide for their tribes. The passion Michael Jordan had to win 6 championships. The passion we had to be present for this extended virtual state FFA convention experience. It's our passion that allows us to accomplish our goals. And we should not be intimidated by our goals either. You know what you are seeking, so go get it. Don't let your destination unknown stop you. We come up here as state officers to try to motivate you to look at things differently or how we all can make a difference. But in the end, we know our journeys are just as undefined as yours. Through your successes and misfortunes, roadblocks and accomplishments, threats and new opportunities, all paths are a part of your journey to your end destination. What will your undefined journey look like? Illinois FFA, you're not lost if you don't know where you're going. You are simply on your way. Trust the undefined. Visit your place of escape for guidance, and your passion will direct you to success. FFA members, you are only given one journey. Go find your unknown destination.
Gage, whether you are hunting for the biggest buck or the tiniest detail in your work, no one is more dedicated to perfection. Your charming smile, creativity, and heart full of gratitude are an inspiration to those around you. From delivering a powerful message to styling on-point hair, we know that we can always count on you. Thank you for making every moment a memory that we will always cherish. We could not envision a better teammate. Young Guns for a year, family for life. Lane, Emma, Colin, and Brody. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, your 2019-2020 Illinois FFA State President, Mr. Gage Miller. You know, this rodeo of a session has definitely been one to remember. From watching our state champions win their big gold buckles, from going over the team roping basics with yours truly, and making sure that our animals are always treated safely, we have successfully completed this 8-second ride. And while there are many parts of a rodeo that are very memorable to me, there's one part that always stands out. While everyone is packing up their belongings and heading home, the announcer always plays Happy Trails by Roy Rogers. In the song, it says, "Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again." Illinois FFA members, supporters, and guests, thank you so much for tuning in and watching the first ever virtual state convention. I know this isn't the way that we wanted to celebrate this past year, but my teammates and I are so excited that we were able to recognize all of the hardworking Illinois FFA members and chapters. On behalf of my teammates and I, thank you so much for being our biggest supporters throughout this last year. And as the song says, happy trails to you, Illinois FFA, until we meet again.
It is now my distinct honor to pass the gavel over to the 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State President, Ms. Lexi Miller.
Thank you, Gage. Throughout this year, these 5 individuals have poured their hearts and souls into our organization. They have traveled many miles promoting our association and taking agricultural education and FFA to the next level. They have proven the statement true that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. With these 5 in command, the Illinois FFA has had another phenomenal year. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019-2020 Major State Officers and Section President team have truly envisioned and created a brighter future for our organization. 30 members from all over the state came together to form our state officer team. That is one special part of our organization. We would like to honor each and every one of those 30 members. At this time, please join us as we take a look back at the 2019-2020 State Officers Year of Service.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I lived. Every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
On June 13th, my teammates and I were elected to serve the 19,099 Illinois FFA members.
On July 9th, we ate Spam, bologna, and corned beef hash pizza at SIU Carbondale with our 25 section presidents.
On July 18th, we flew home on an airplane from Capitol Hill after advocating for agriculture with the Illinois corn growers.
On July 20th, 2 days after being in DC, we got on a charter bus with state officers from all across the country to go back to DC to advocate for agriculture and become best buds with national legislators.
On August 8th, we began the long 10-day journey of the Illinois State Fair. Throughout our over week and a half there, we visited with over 45,000 visitors and allowed them with the opportunity to pet as well as see farm animals firsthand.
On August 25th, we almost lost a teammate when Lane decided to take us hiking in the Shawnee National Forest and made us climb some very steep rocks. I thought I was gonna slip right off.
On September 4th, we facilitated our first STAR conference. We were nervous to present, but we were able to teach 150 section officers the basics of facilitation and how to be the best section officers possible.
On September 16th, we had our first chapter visit of the year. Little did we know by the end of the chapter visit season, we would have visited 320 schools, met with 7,715 members, traveled over 17,225 miles, and stopped for snacks approximately 64 times.
On October 16th, Lane and Brody attended the first of 4 Illinois State Board of Education budget hearings to advocate for agriculture and the Ag Ed line item that would impact over 34,000 Illinois Ag Ed students. While doing this, they also had Raising Cane's chicken for the very first time. If you haven't had it, you should. It's a great time.
September 29th. FFA members from all over the state were able to gather together to watch the Cardinals and Cubs baseball game to support the Illinois Foundation FFA. Nothing's better than a good old game of baseball.
On October 27th, the state officer team of 30 traveled to Indianapolis, Indiana to attend National FFA Convention. We worked as committee members, worked as courtesy corps members, and we enjoyed the sessions.
On December 2nd, we went to a cabin in the woods, did team evaluations, cooked all of our meals from scratch, and began to make decisions on what the 2020 state convention would look like.
On January 9th, the first Golden Owl visit of the year took place. We were able to surprise 5 Illinois ag teachers, award them each $500, and recognize them as state finalists for the prestigious Golden Owl Award, presented by Nationwide Insurance.
On January 21st, we met with Compeer Financial, discussed with their employees, and talked about what their company was about. This was one of the many industry tours we did, along with Farm Bureau family of companies, John Deere, ADM, Farm Credit Illinois, the Mashoffs, and Tyson Foods.
On February 20th, members from All Other gathered together at SIUC to watch a good basketball game and hear some remarks from the university.
And on March 20th, people were sheltered in place and the stay-at-home order began. The future of proms, graduations, sporting events, and convention became uncertain. Nobody knew what the upcoming months would hold due to COVID-19.
From that point on, the world lived in uncertainty, as many of the events that we loved were canceled. Our team wasn't able to attend chapter banquets and give our speeches there. Brody and I weren't able to attend the National Ag Day in Washington, D.C., where we would have advocated for the future of agriculture to many legislators.
We weren't able to host a State Awards Day and award our State Proficiency Award winners. We weren't able to conduct our final CDEs of the year and an in-person selection committee for our next major state officers. We weren't able to plan state convention like teams in the past, or spend every moment together as a team.
It was weird at first. The 5 of us have been together almost every day since being elected in June of 2019. Now, we're being forced to be sent home and be major state officers from home, wondering when we'd be able to come back together as a team.
On March 20th, these teammates of mine had outgrown that title of teammates and earned a new one, called family. It was hard working from home and difficult not seeing them every day.
While at home, we were faced with challenging times as an organization and as individuals. During this, we were able to promote a bright and positive message through Operation Rising Sun.
Within the social media campaign, we posted past state officer retiring addresses, hosted Facebook Live, Kahoots, Q&As, banquet speeches, and an Ag Career Corner with industry professionals, and started the Illinois FFA Daily News.
The Daily News was a silly and fun way for us to bring positivity to our membership, as well as providing them with accurate news.
Then, the moment we'd been waiting for had finally arrived. On May 1st, the FFA board decided to turn the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention into a virtual format.
Although this wasn't the news we wanted to hear, we knew we could reach more people, and everybody could see the passionate, driven, and dedicated FFA members be recognized for their achievements over the past year.
We hope that during this virtual convention, we were able to put a smile on your face and we were able to look past the challenging times just as we did as an organization with Operation Rising Sun.
Illinois FFA, we envision a better tomorrow for our students, our teachers, our state, and our country if we look into the bright future of this organization.
FFA members, we are Illinois FFA.
Thank you for an amazing year.
We know that you are in good hands for the upcoming year with the new team.
Thank you for helping us envision the future of Illinois FFA.
This is the 2019-2020 Illinois FFA Major State Officer Team signing off.
And from all of us here at Illinois FFA, thank you and have a grand day.
Our retiring officers have truly left an impact on our organization, and we will forever be in debt to their year of service. Gage, serving with gratitude. Lane, with authenticity. Brody, with drive. Colin, with passion. And Emma, with individuality. While serving on a team of 30 with them, they took the time to teach us the importance of envisioning a future for our organization. I know my teammates, Molly, Margaret, Jordy, Emma, and myself, cannot wait to envision and create a better future for you, the members of Illinois FFA. There will be times of uncertainty this year, but if we maintain our love and passion for this organization, we will move forward with more direction, and the FFA will prosper. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare the 92nd Illinois FFA State Convention adjourned.
30 conventions ago started a tradition. And that tradition was to sing this next song at the end. This marks the 30th convention in a row that we've marked the end of our participation in each convention. It's a special song that I selected back then to wish all of you safe travel home, to all of you thousands of people and all of my choir members who I grow to love over these 3 days. It's a song that was written by a man who was from Chicago, Mr. Thomas Dorsey. And I was told before he died that he was very proud that the State FFA Chorus was singing his song that meant so much to him.
It has great meaning to me because it's my prayer for you to get home safely. Here is Take My Hand, precious Lord.